Hey guys, you might be wondering what's wrong with your face, right? Well, turns out I went to Atlantic City Boardwalk Convention this weekend and I cosplayed as Matt Murdock. So a little bit about Atlantic City Boardwalk Convention. This is its second year running. Um, it runs obviously in New Jersey. It's a smaller convention, being it just started. It's got about it runs basically from Friday through Sunday. Seems like it's going to be the second weekend in May every year. And the first year they had about 30,000 attendees. So comparing that to, let's say, New York Comic Con, which has about 150,000 people over the 4 days, rather, it's a pretty relatively smaller convention. So basically, it's similar to New York Comic Con on a smaller scale. It's got your comics or TV stars, some movie stars have panels, workshops, all that sort of stuff. And this particular one in Atlantic City is geared more toward families, so there's a lot of cool interactivity kind of stuff. Being I went there last year, um, which was also my very first convention of any sort. So that always holds a special place in my heart for this convention. So improvements that I noticed they made from last year. So this year, Atlantic City Boardwalk Convention took advantage of the full convention center with a better layout and really filling out the entire area, because last year it seemed like they had only about half of that space that they had, but everything was kind of smushed together. But this year they kind of spread everything out, so there's a lot more breathing room. Like I said, a lot less attendees than New York Comic Con, so you're not struggling for air and being crushed between many stinky, sweaty con goers. So definitely nice in that regard. Also, there's a lot more interactive activities for everybody there, so it gets you up off your feet, one-on-one kind of sword combat training area specified for that. You also have a battle zone, which is like one of those you see in like movies and whatnot. Like you got that big kind of battering ram type of thing, and you're knocking somebody off into a pit of like styrofoam or something. Real cool kind of stuff. They have like laser tag and a bunch of stuff like that. That's gonna get you, like I said, moving around, not just sitting in a chair listening to panels all day long. They have some other options for you, which is I definitely dig that they are trying different avenues that are not in your normal convention. And also that Conquest show was pretty fun. They had this like after show after the show floor ended. They're right outside in the lobby. They had this little game show going where they broke everybody up into different teams, doing various stuff, it's funny 'cause it's more geared toward adults. So they do some really crazy things to try to get people involved. Um, you know, People literally taking, well, men taking off their shirts while women are like using makeup to like basically make like different signs of heroes, and like there's this really crazy stuff. That's just really a really fun and entertaining way to wrap up a day of being at a convention. So I like that a lot. But I would also say improvements to make for this convention would be to bring back bigger publishers such as Marvel and Boom Studios, and I think Valiant was there last year. They were all lacking this year, so I kind of wish to see that again. Also, the guest situation. It would be nice to have more guests, TV stars and movie stars. I know that's very difficult, probably with their budget and all, but and especially this year was kind of a problem again with various celebrities kind of canceling last minute. I mean, I guess there's not too much of a way to mitigate that other than to just have more celebrities. So when one's canceled, you still have others as not backup, but there as well for other options. I mean, I think that's just a problem with conventions everywhere, is that nothing's ever really set in stone for these people to show up. I don't know if it's a publicity thing or they literally have transportation problems, but it seems like it's just a very, very likely thing to happen. And also, in regards to the panels, I would have liked to see, they do a great job at this convention with really teaching people how to do certain skills, like help with writing on comics, help with drawing comics. But I would like to get more of like a fan kind of discussion panels going. So, for instance, have like a DC talk or something, and then have like a Marvel talk, or have like a Star Wars fan-driven kind of like 45-minute panel of different topics, stuff like that. Is more specific to the crowd, for sure, would be something worthwhile. So that is what I thought of the convention. Of course, I don't leave a convention empty-handed ever. So here are some things I picked up. I'm going to start with the branded things here. So I love conventions because if you're lucky enough to find a booth, you will eventually run into a booth that might have 50% off trade paperbacks. So I had to pick up Green Arrow, volume number 1, because I'm a huge fan of Arrow. So this is my first Green Arrow book, so I am very excited to read this thing. And also, next up I bought, which I love this series. This is from Vertigo Comics, Fables. It's basically about fairy tale type characters living in this world alongside society and having to deal with living in society the way they are. It's just very interesting, very, very mature, but it's amazing. The series just recently ended, and I actually picked up the next volume too, so now I'm good for a little bit. We got volume 4 right over there. Guys, I can't recommend Fables enough. One of these days I'll get up a review for you guys, at least for volume 1. So that'll do it for my established comics. And I also picked up this bad boy because it literally weighs like 10 pounds. I got the Grimm's Fairy Tale from Zenescope. Now, this is a smaller publishing company, and this book is almost like Fables. It's why one of the reasons why I wanted to get it is because it's basically taking your fairy tales and getting like a female perspective on all of them, and it's supposed to be pretty well, if you know anything about Grimm, pretty dark kind of stuff. All females for the most part. It's looking like really cool artwork. But definitely, I as a guy that's been in a community of YouTube for a few months now and just getting started with comics, I'm very big into helping out the community any way I can, trying to find what's out there, new stuff that people are trying to push. So it was nice getting to know some of the things going on at Zenoscope Publishing. They have a lot of cool stuff coming out down the road. Like they have a Robin Hood book coming out that's a female version. So I'm a big fan of strong female characters, and I just like the route they're going with making these male characters the feminine female take on them is pretty cool. So guys, definitely check out Zenoscope. I think you could just Google them and find them on there. They have a lot of cool tie-in stuff with like History Channel and whatnot too. So definitely worth checking out. But yeah, basically I had a great time at Atlantic City Boardwalk Convention. I only went Saturday, just because my schedule and all. But I would recommend going there for sure, especially if you've never been to a convention and you're in like the PA, New Jersey, even New York area. If you guys want to make the trip down, it's in a pretty. I mean, the convention center is very nice, and you're right by the water there, the boardwalk. Pretty cool location, Atlantic City. There, you can. If you're 21, you can always go and gamble for a little bit. Plenty of nightlife, if you want to spend the night there. Couple real nice casinos for sure. But as far as the convention itself, it's like I said, for people that want to start off going somewhere They don't want to go and take a dive into something crazy like New York Comic Con, which is really kind of like 180 from this convention. Not saying that that's a bad thing. This is a great way to just kind of meet people, make connections, network, because you don't feel the hustle and bustle as much as you would in New York when people are just pushing you from behind. You're not really able to get up close to look at anything because you're constantly being bombarded by other people. There's a lot of cool cosplayers around for sure. Actually, one of the things I did was get entered into a cosplay contest right on the fly. That was really fun. That was a lot of fun for sure. Uh, but yeah, guys, this is a great convention. I think they're at least doing 5 years. I heard something about a 5-year plan. So I'm hoping they get feedback from what the fans said this year and kind of spin off from that and maybe even like listen to some of my recommendations of what I think they should do, because it's a new convention, so you can only improve from this point on, and they've been doing pretty good with listening to feedback from everybody. But as far as conventions, I just started going to these a year ago, and I just can't help but love that feeling when you're in that environment with all these people of, you're like-minded. You feel like you're bond. You can kind of have all this bond together, even though you've never really interacted with each other. Like you meet so many cool people, and you're all in that same brainwave because you all care about what basically you're there for, all the many, many different things. And throughout the last year or two, I've learned about a bunch of other fandoms and everything. So the more stuff you care about, as fandom wise, the more you're gonna get out of like going to a convention like this, because you'd be like, oh, that's really cool person over there, cosplayer, and then you can go over to another booth and see stuff you like over there. So yeah, very, very cool. And speaking of meeting cool people, I met this guy named MrDarkPhoenix, who has a YouTube channel. So I'm giving him a shout out because he subscribed to me on the floor. We were chatting a little bit. His YouTube channel is similar to my channel. So if you like watching my channel, you might want to go over to MrDarkPhoenix, who has stuff such as TV reviews, reaction to trailers, let's plays, and whatnot. So make sure you check that guy out. And that is going to bring me to the end of this event coverage review thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But basically, guys, what did you think of what I thought of Atlantic City Boardwalk Con? Are you interested in going now next year for 2017? Have you guys gone to any other conventions? What are you looking forward to this year with conventions? Because pretty much we are just kicking off right now. I'm thinking about going to Philadelphia Wizard World, which is going to have some crazy lineup of stars from like the Avengers and everything. So if you guys are going there, let me know. Maybe we can meet up. And I'll be going to New York Comic Con in October, whenever the heck New York feels like putting up their tickets, because we've had our tickets last year at this time by now. So I don't know what the holdup is. I guess they're trying to fix the ticket problem that plagued us last year. I'm trying to go for 4 days. But anyway, I digress. So guys, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up symbol. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. It's better for me, it's better for you, because then you can keep up with everything I do. It gives you notifications when I upload videos. Speaking of videos and speaking of Matt Murdock, I have my review over there for Daredevil Season 2, so make sure you check that out. You can always follow me on Twitter at StarRaptor, as well as like my Facebook page at StarRaptor. Also, as you guys know, I'm part of a weekly music podcast called Audio Addiction. We talk all things music, so make sure you go ahead and give us a listen to over there on our YouTube channel. And that is going to do it for me, StarRaptor. Thank you, and bye-bye.